Platform Ready, episode 2. My name is Jose Del Real. Welcome back. Got the co-host.
Demai, what's up, guys?
What's up, man? Today's episode, it's going to be a little bit about New Year resolutions, goals, setting yourself up for success. Kind of what I do, my day-to-day. I want to talk a little bit about what I've done in the past, cutting weight, how I lost so much weight. I know you want to talk about how you're gaining weight, gaining size, gaining strength. 14 days into the new year, 2 weeks into 2023, and I kind of wanted to just release our second episode on having a new year goal, how to execute, and I said it since the first episode. It's going to be raw, it's going to be real. If our language disturbs you, if what we say disturbs you, you're welcome to reach out. We'll have a personal conversation. But really we just want to keep it raw and real, because I feel like social media nowadays, you get so lost in the sauce as far as like cookie cutter plans and what I did to, buy my program, and you could make $1 million yourself. We're going to start with that, and then we'll finish off with some Q&As that got asked. We'll answer some more questions. But yeah, man, 2 weeks into 2023, what have you done different?
I drank more water.
You drank more water. He's drinking more water, guys.
Drinking more water. Most people, know me at the gym, I don't drink water.
You don't.
If you're here with me, I've drunk a lot more water this year. So
Gatorades, Pedialyte,
intra workout, bro.
I never see you with water. That's good, man. Any goals and achievements you have lined up?
Really not, honestly. Like my same goals I had last year or this year. Get stronger, bigger, build a better foundation with my new coaching. I'm trying to advertise, stuff like that. That's really my only goals.
Right.
Nothing new from last year.
And you just got certified, right?
Yeah, I just got certified through Prescript, which is a pretty legit course. There's some very smart guys. They
Right.
do it with like athletes and stuff like that. I just got certified in the barbell course, which is like it goes over squat, bench, deadlift,
Right.
how to break it down, how to fix issues, stuff like that. So it's pretty good.
That's good, man. We're gonna dive a little bit more into that as far as like I said earlier about how you set up yourself for success and all that. Yeah, for myself, 14 days, man. 14 days, personal goals. I'm trying to cut weight, so I'm trying to walk around at 200 again. I was at 231 about 3 hours ago with my full clothes on and whatnot. So I'm probably about 227. Signing up for a meet, May 20th,
Yeah.
another meet with all the homies. So that's going to go into how I set myself up for that. A little bit of the gym. We set goals for the gym. And it's not even like a new year, new thing where people are signing up. It's like everyone that we've had a great start to 2023 with the gym. Shout out to everyone that's came in. Everyone that's signed up so far, like you can really, really see that they want to be here. So that's kind of cool, man, that we had a goal for members we wanted to hit this month, and we've already hit it. And it's only been 14 days. I just signed someone up this morning. So respectfully, I want to speak a little bit on that and how we set that up. But yeah, man, so with that being said, let's start it. So I'm going to let you go first. 2023, 14 days into it, what do you do to set yourself up? Like, what standard do you hold, and like what are you doing different over the years, if anything, that is setting yourself up for success? Like last podcast, you said you wanted to get certified, and you did. You just received your cert yesterday.
Yeah,
so like you might not realize it, but what are you doing that is helping you achieve those things? And keep it raw and real, man, because we don't want no cookie cutter stuff on here.
No. Really, it's just baby steps, man. I feel like when a lot of people get into something, they dive too deep into it. You take a bite that's too big and you start choking. You get burnout, you realize it's too much, you're stressing, you're like, oh, this is too much for me. Just baby steps, do one thing at a time. I signed up for the course, it's week by week. I just did, I studied the product I was supposed to study one day at a time, 2 or 3 days at a week, stuff like that. People dive into something too much that they can't handle, and you fail. You're not, if it's just like, let's just say you come into the gym, and let's just say you want to come to the gym 5 days a week, and you never worked out a day in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You might come 5 days a week for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you're starting to get tired, you get burned out, you're not following a program, you're just doing too much. Instead of be like, okay, this week I'll go 3 days. Next week I'll go 3 days.
Right.
Next week I'll go 4 days. Slowly build your way into something. It's more attainable.
Right. So more or less, it's like, let's just say running. So you want to get better at running. You don't just hop on the track or hop on the road and run 10 miles, right? Because what happens? You're going to get gassed out. You're going to get sore. You might not make it. So what do, right? You have... You walk first if you need to, man. You walk first, you sprint, you hit your first half mile, then you hit your mile, and then you set realistic goals in order for you to achieve down the road. And then next thing you know, you're running 10 miles, man. Yeah. So I like that. Like you said, you take a big bite that you can't chew. Do you feel like that transitions your fitness? Does that transition into your job, your relationship, your day-to-day life?
Oh yeah, of course. It's just like anything. Obviously, depending on like what kind of job you do and stuff like that. If you get a promotion and it's more workload on you, you have to build capacity. Sometimes you have to fail to get good.
Right.
If you want to get better, your life's going to be stressful at some point in your life.
Right.
Well, filming, no matter what it is, filming, working out, anything. You're going to be stressful at some point in your life, and it's going to be hard for a little while. But you got to think, how can I break this down to make it easier in my life?
Right.
It's just like me drinking more water. I didn't try to drink, they say drink like 8 bottles a day,
right.
Stuff like that. I'm not doing 8 bottles a day.
Right. Because it's slow steps.
Yeah, I would drink 1 bottle, then 2 bottles, then I slowly build my way up and more, and now I'm drinking like, however much this is, I drink like 4 or 5 of these a day.
Right. So eventually you'll be at a gallon a day, and it'll be normal to you.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that. So I want to touch a little bit about stress. Stress is a huge thing with fitness, with life, man. It's life. Stress is there, right? So one thing that I've learned, this is going to be for another episode, Fit for Duty. I want to bring some of my homies in the military and first responders on here. But I want to touch on stress a little bit because I think that makes or breaks your goals to an extent. So in the fire, when I was a rookie, man, we had rookie school and all that. Stress level high, right? Stress level high. But when you're doing things in like a practice setting, like an exhibition match or something, when we're doing, stuff in rookie school, your stress level to an extent wasn't as high. But then you got out to the truck or to the engine, and certain things you were doing in rookie school, but now you're doing it in real life. That brought on a real stress level. And my point is, I'm getting at here, stress to certain people, that's where their true nature really comes out. Yeah. How you adapt to stress, it's a gut checker, man. Yeah. So that kind of goes back into your fitness. Like you want to start working out more. So instead of saying like, I'm gonna train 6 days a week, 7 days a week, set a realistic. What's gonna happen? You're gonna get stressed out.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get burnt out.
You're gonna get burnt out. Stress and burnout, it's all the same thing, man. With nutrition, going cold, my opinion, like going cold turkey on everything. You're gonna end up getting stressed out, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna do worse than what you were in the beginning, because you're just gonna go back to those bad habits and then make it worse. So I believe, like you said perfectly, setting yourself up, having those realistic, like from training, like if you've never trained in your life, 2 to 4 days is great, in my opinion. Perfect. Break it up, full day body, back, lower. It doesn't matter. Just find what works for you and set yourself up for success, because overdoing it, man, like 6-7 days a week, you're just gonna get burnt out.
Oh yeah, don't get caught in that riptide you see on social media where whatever your favorite influencers to follow, whatever it is, you see them, they're jacked, they're working out 6-7 days a week if that's what they do, and you're like, oh, I want to be like them, and you try to copy them. Bro, they've probably been doing it for years. Almost a decade, probably. Yeah. Don't do that. They build their way up to that. Yeah. You have to build your way up to that.
And that's life, man. So you see the old man or the 34-year-old guy with the Ferrari, right? And you're 32 and you're like, where's my Ferrari? But you didn't see the 15 years of hard work that guy put in, exactly. Right? So everything we talk about on here with fitness and life, it's all a circle, man. In my opinion, everything gets crossed in a circle. Something like for me, what I do, we'll go with nutrition a little bit. So I was just having this conversation with a member this morning. She's awesome. I'm not gonna name her name, but I want to tell a little story about her after this. But we were talking about nutrition, and my problem is I do great Monday through Friday. Saturday comes and I still do good, but it's like, man, I don't want to cook. I've cooked all week. Like, I'm gonna go out to eat with my friends, right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with going out to eat, in my opinion. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not certified to give information on that, but I will say, and I only have one life to live, so I'm gonna have fun, right? But my point is I have goals. I have realistic goals. So what I do instead is I'll eat clean throughout my whole day, and then that way when dinner comes, if I'm like, dude, let's go out to eat,
you have a free meal.
I'll have a free meal, man. And that's kind of like, I feel like people could benefit from that mindset of doing good, but having a little bit of lenience to yourself, dude. Because yeah, man, because then that all goes to goals as well. You know, we won't get too much into that because, you know, if I have a bodybuilding show in 18 weeks, it's a little different from your normal person that doesn't have a bodybuilding show. So it's all time and place, man. But it's those little things, like you did good all week. And Saturday comes, man. So what I like to do is, like, I like to eat clean throughout my whole day, and then I'll just have a fun meal with the friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, therefore, Sunday comes around, I don't feel bad, and then Monday's a new week, and we do it all over again. So it's just like finding what works for you and what works for your lifestyle and your goals.
Yeah, it's being honest with yourself.
That true.
We all love being on social media and seeing things, but when you see a certain person, don't try to be like that person.
Exactly.
They've been doing stuff for years. They devoted their life to it, especially these people that look amazing. They devoted their life, years, decades, if not more.
Right.
You're not that person.
Right.
It took them a long time to get there.
Yeah.
And you need to understand that. Like, yeah, that could be your goal to get there, but baby steps to get there.
Exactly. So, I'm a bigger dude, so if I go out and eat like crap every day, I'm gonna get fat. You know, if you go out and eat like bad every day, you're just gonna get a little bigger.
Yeah.
So like everyone's body's anatomy is different. It's not the same thing, man. So when you see that dude or that girl that's probably on gear or not,
which gear steroids?
Which gear steroids? We'll have another conversation on. So there, yeah, man. So that cookie cutter New Year stuff, it's not one size fits all. It's finding what works for you and your lifestyle. But I kind of want to give this little story real quick. I'm not gonna say her name, but one of our members, man, she's awesome. You know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
She's awesome. She gets after it 6 days a week, full-time job. She's a wife. She's a mom. No excuses. So, little story on her. She was telling me this morning. She had her first son. After she had her son, she was 270 pounds. She said that she went to go try on a dress, and a 2X wouldn't fit her. So she said, "I will not try on a 3X. I will not." She said she was crying. She said that next day she signed up at a local gym, and 20 years later she's here now, still getting after it. And I was asking her, like, you know, respectfully, like, she's not a genetic freak. She's natural. She's not on gear and surgeries, but you've seen her now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to try to guess her weight, but she is nowhere near 270 pounds.
I couldn't, like, you could imagine someone being 270, and then what she looks like now, she's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And she's held it for 20 years.
20 plus years.
Yeah, she's worked her ass off.
And what gets me is we were talking back and forth about it, and she was saying how this other lady came to her now that she looks the way she does, and she was like, "Hey, I need to lose 100 pounds in a month. Do you think I could do it?"
No.
And she was serious. She was serious, man. And that's the thing that we were talking about. So, like, I understand how things work. You understand how things work. But there truly is people that need help understanding how things work. And that's why I want to do this podcast, speaking about goals and all that, because I want it. If it could help that one person, that asked if they could lose 100 pounds in a month, which we both know that's not feasible. It's not possible. Or healthy, for sure. So that is the whole goal of this episode, man, is to, if you hear it and if it helps you, take whatever you can from it and learn, man. She was telling me the story this morning, and it really made me reflect back on my life. I've said it before to my closer friends and people that's followed me, like on Facebook and stuff. So I've always been a bigger dude, right? I spoke a little bit about that in the first episode, so I'm not gonna go too into full detail. But when she was telling me this story, man, I really understood what she was saying, just because I've always been a big dude. My sister might not believe it, but I feel like I was athletic. I was okay with being big, and I was just moving. So people ask me, how did I lose all that weight, right? Did I have surgeries? Because some people don't know, right? I wanted to answer that here, man. None of that. So I remember being that young, not knowing anything about nutrition, not knowing anything about really fitness, like working out. And all I knew was that I was tired of being fat. I was tired of being made fun of by my uncles. Shout out to my uncles. They can get these hands. No, man, it was all love, but man, I just got tired of being made fun of. But it was a different era back then, man. I took it and I used it as fuel. All I did, man, from what I can remember, and it was funny because it was my middle school year, and all the homies knew me in middle school, and that whole summer, I lost so much weight. I went from I wish I had a receipt for this. I went from 260, 250 to 130 this whole summer. I have pictures. I mean, yeah. And you know what I did? I just literally stopped. I stopped eating junk food.
Yeah.
I stopped eating Cokes, sweets. I got so obsessed with it. And it always reminds me of, shout out to David Goggins. He says, screw motivation, man. In honesty, he says, fuck motivation. It's about discipline. That's all David Goggins. And it's funny because I've read both of his books, and I understand so much, but I was obsessed with losing this weight. So I remember, now don't judge me, but I remember eating standing up, because I thought it would go down faster.
Yeah.
I would watch TV standing up, doing curls on some little dumbbells that I had. I would never sit down because in my head I thought, I'm gonna get fat if I sit down. I have to stand up. Yeah. I have to move. I got obsessed with it, man. I would do 300 to 500. Trust me, sit-ups a night, every night, 7 days a week. Little story, we're Mexican, so we love to eat good. So my dad would take us to Golden Corral, back when it was good. Ryan's, back when it was good. Yeah. Shout out to Ryan's. And he would pay for me to come in. I was a kid, right? And I would never eat. I wouldn't eat. I just would not eat. And he would force. He was like, dude, I just paid $14 for you. You're gonna eat. You're gonna eat, man. So I would eat the fish and some of the rice. And I knew nothing about nutrition. It just didn't look as. I knew that pizza and wings and barbecue was making me fat. Yeah. So in my little brain, I was like, this has to make me skinny. Because I didn't have anyone to look up to, man. We didn't have Instagram where I could just be how to lose weight. The point I'm getting at, though, is sometimes I feel like you have to find what works for you, and that worked for me. I feel like you have to be a little obsessed, and being motivated is great, man, but
it's a good spark to get you going.
Is. And that's all it should be, is a spark.
Yeah, and after that, it's straight discipline.
It's straight discipline. Military, I just had orders, got back, and I was training later in the afternoon / night, right? I'm not used to that. It's been a long time that I've done that. Was I gonna not work out that day because I had drill that weekend? So no, dude. I still came in and I still had to get after it because I know what my end goal is going to be. So yeah, man. So being disciplined and being motivated 100% is two different things. I'm not gonna piggyback off of Goggins, but it's so true, man. Finding the discipline and finding what you're obsessed about is what will help you, in my honest opinion, achieve those goals this year. And it's not, when I say obsessed, I don't want to say you know, if you're a mom or a dad and you have kids, never spend time with your kids.
Oh,
You know, never spend time with your husband or wife. That's not the obsession I'm talking about, but the obsession of dedicating at least an hour for yourself.
Yeah, you need your own personal time.
Yeah, man, you're
It's healthy.
finding that motivation, like you said, letting it spark.
Exactly.
It's all fun and games for that first 2 weeks, but then you're getting coached by somebody and they're like, hey, I need you to show up at 6:30 in the morning, and you usually get up at 9. That's when the discipline is going to kick in. Finding your why, finding my why of like, why am I doing this, right? Why do I want to do this? Is there a physique that I want to achieve? Is there a weight that I want to achieve? That all goes into the circle of discipline, the circle of motivation, the circle of obsession. It's another variable, the why. Stick to it with discipline. Find a little obsession in what you're trying to do. And with all that being said, is find your why. And those would be like my little steps personally.
I feel like a lot of people's problem is, you know, they'll go to the gym 2 weeks, and let's just say you work 8 to 4. You get off, you go home, you sit on the couch for maybe 30 minutes, and then you get lazy. No, if you work 8 to 4, go home, change, and go straight to the gym. If you have to take care of your dogs, whatever, do that. But don't sit down.
Yeah.
Baby steps like that will get you to the gym, and you won't feel, I've been sitting down an hour now. Now I'm gonna get to the gym later than usual. Then I'm gonna eat later than usual. Then you start making up all these excuses in your head, and now you're not going.
I did that, dude. And that's so
We've
funny.
all done that.
That's so funny that you say that, because that couch, Fort Couch, killer. I've learned that as soon as you get home, you know, play with the dogs, play with the kids, play with your wife, but you know, you play with your wife, whatever. But do what you need to do as an adult, man or female. Your responsibilities should always be there. We all have responsibilities. I get it. I don't have kids yet, but I have to let my dogs out before I go to the gym. I have to do this before I go to the gym, right? Get that done first. But when all that is said and done, don't sit down.
No, don't.
Do not sit down, because as soon as you sit down on that
You
couch,
get comfortable.
you're not coming. You're not going to the gym. I care about you, and you care about me. I care about your goals, and you care about mine. But at the end of the day, if you don't accept any of the information I'm giving you, and if you don't want the help that I'm giving you, that's where it stops.
Yeah, exactly.
So it goes back to my motivation, my discipline, my why, man. Like, why are you doing it? You know, I lost all the weight. That was a little fast little story. You know, pretty much I went cold turkey. I did it my way. I was a little weird with it, but that's how I did it, because I got obsessed. That was truly it. I was obsessed with losing weight, and it happened. So, like, is there anything, because I know you were a smaller kid, and now you're night and day. You're getting bigger, and I know in 5 years you'll be bigger than you are now. Any little tips you want to give, like how you did it? Because I know the losing weight side,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't know the gaining weight side, because that's easy.
So like I told this story in the last podcast, but the last episode. But when I graduated high school, like 130, something
Yeah.
like that. A year later, I was still 130, and I probably started working out maybe 2 years after high school, and I was still like 130, 135, and obviously when you're in those first 2 years or so, 3 years, maybe you get beginner gains.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'll gain weight or muscle no matter what you do.
Right.
We all work out like idiots typically in those
Yeah.
first 2 or 3 years.
Respectfully, we all.
Oh yeah, we all did. We all
did
there.
it.
Everything we're saying, me and him have done this before.
100%.
So, but after a certain amount of time, your body's gonna be like, "Hey, you need a structure.
Mm-hmm.
You need to eat a certain amount of time. You need to eat more meals. You need to work out a certain way, because the progress will stop.
Mm-hmm.
You need structure to your whatever your madness is." So it's just, simple things. Some people are like, oh, you think you're eating enough, or you think you're not eating enough, you're trying to lose weight or gain weight. You need to plan to see how much you're eating. I always thought I was eating enough when I got a certain body weight, like 150 something maybe, and I wasn't. I started tracking my weight. Tracking is everything if you're trying to lose weight or gain weight. That's a big tip. If you're trying to lose weight or gain weight and you're new to this, download MyFitnessPal, whatever little fitness thing that tracks food, and start tracking your food, what you eat throughout the day. You realize how much you're under eating or overeating if you want to gain weight or lose weight.
Right.
I realized I wasn't eating as much as I was supposed to. So I started eating like smaller things, maybe making an extra shake or something, eating an extra meal before bed, just little things. Not huge, just like maybe 2 or 3 extra 100 calories, and slowly building up.
Right.
Me trying to me trying to eat another plate before dinner at 1,000 calories, I'm not gonna do it.
Right. So more or less setting yourself up for success early that day.
Yeah.
Eating more throughout your day.
Getting up early.
Getting
You
up
wanna get,
early.
like you said, you want to get in more food. You say you're used to getting up at 9, get up at 7. You can
Right.
have another meal as soon as you get up,
Right.
and then you can eat again at 9, and then you can eat again 2 or 3 hours later. If you wake up just earlier instead of being, I would say, lazy, get up an hour or two earlier, eat an extra meal, and you have more time throughout the day.
Right. And I feel like
Baby steps.
that's the thing, man. Baby steps and doing things out of your comfort level.
Exactly.
Doing things out of the comfort zone. So like if you know you have to be at work by 8, wake up at 6. Get your meal in, do what you need. Honestly, you could wake up at 6 and work out and be ready to work by 8. So it's getting out of your comfort zone. Let's just say you can't do it that early. You get off at 5. You know, you have to pick up your kids at 7. You get off at 5. You can squeeze a workout in there.
Oh, yeah.
You can squeeze a run in there. You can squeeze a walk around the park in there. You are who you hang out with, right? Another pro tip that I would give out there before we wrap all this up and get into some questions. Another pro tip, man, is who you hang out with. So for myself, I know that if I ever got lazy, I've always said respectfully, I can never own a gym with my wife and be fat and out of shape. That's just for me. I used to be fat, so I feel like I could say that. I can't be fat and out of shape and own a gym because I can't sell you a product that I believe in so much and I'm fat and out of shape.
Exactly.
You come in to sign up and you see a 300-pound guy, with all due respect, you're not going to believe the product I'm selling.
No, yeah.
So my point of that is I know that if I ever got lazy, because it could happen, you know, I could have something in my life could happen for sure. You know, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. But if I ever got lazy, I know that I can count on you. I know that I could call you, or honestly, I know that you could call me and shoot it straight. Stop being a lazy piece of shit. Go work out. It's weird saying that because you've never had to say that to me.
Oh, yeah. Probably never will.
More or less, it's like, hey, you should take a rest day. That's my battle with myself. You could ask my coach, man. So we'll be like, I don't want to get off subject, but it's funny because, you know, I start my training on Saturdays now, but it used to be Sundays. But it's like always changing because like I'll have my 2 rest days and I'm like, oh, I want to start today. It's Saturday. He's like, dude, you start on Sundays. Just wait one more day. My point of that is though, is if I know if I ever got to the point where I got over it and I just wanted to be lazy, who I hang out with and all my real close family and friends would not let me stay lazy. God forbid me and Danny go through a divorce, if we go through a hardship, I know that my close circle would not let me stop trying to succeed for the best. And I feel like that's a pro tip you have, man, is having those people around you who instill motivation but help you with the discipline. You need that person to be like, hey, dude, did you work out today? And then when you say no, they cuss you out.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
They tell you how it is. Like, hey, man, you're telling me that you want to achieve in powerlifting. I want to achieve a 1,700 pound total or a 500 pound deadlift by next meet. And then you ask them, well, when's the last time you worked out? Oh, it's been a week and a half ago. My job has been busy. My kids have been keeping me up at night, you know. My dogs have diarrhea. That's my excuse because I have dogs. Something, right?
Yeah.
You need that friend, in my honest opinion. You need that asshole friend.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone wants to sugarcoat it. Everyone wants a pat in the back. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
buddy.
Everybody wants, you know, one of our friends, Forrest, said everybody wants their flowers watered.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Forrest said that?
Yeah, Forrest
He
said
did say
everybody
that.
wants their flowers watered. We all want to grow, but
Shout out to Forrest.
I'm not watering your flowers until I see you putting in work. And then when you're putting in work, this is just me, it's still not good enough. You should always strive to be better.
Right.
You hit a 500 deadlift. Okay, I'm gonna congratulate you. You worked your ass off. No, you should want more.
Right. Well, it's just like this, man. It's like I said it the other day. I didn't come up with it because I've read it somewhere, but it's always stuck with me. Be the person you said you were going to be in the interview.
Exactly.
Be that person. So, like I said, that's for another episode. Left the department, went to another department. That guy I said in the interview, I'm certified, I'm this, I'm that. Be that guy. Don't get hired on and first shift, you're a shitbag.
Yeah.
Be the guy that you sold them on. And that's kind of with with lifting, you know, the things you post, the things you say, own up to it, man. And sometimes respectfully, I think it's okay if someone slides into your DMs and it's like, hey, dude, you just posted some like a friend, obviously.
You ain't shit.
Like, you just posted a motivational post, but you haven't been to the gym in a week.
Exactly.
Get off your ass, bud.
Yeah.
We're at the gym. Shout out to the Brig. But that's all aspects of life. You want that promotion. I'm your boss, and you, person A wants a promotion. Person A is half-assing, but person B is getting after it. I'm going to promote probably person B.
100%.
100%. And so everything we're saying is more or less in the gym and out the gym. But that's kind of it, man. That's kind of all I want to speak on with New Year's 2023. To kind of end it off with this before we answer some questions. If you're new to the gym, just know that you belong here. Just know that you belong here like everyone else belongs here. But be realistic with yourself. Ask for help. Ask questions. Do your own research. And set some realistic goals that you can achieve. Don't worry about what you're going to look like in 6 months. Don't worry about what you're going to be lifting in 6 months. Worry about a 6-week program.
Exactly.
So I want to end it with that. If you belong here, just get after it. And maybe this video can help you out.
All I gotta say is just, if you have a goal, baby steps. Baby steps. Don't, like I said, don't take a bite that you're gonna choke on. Don't burn yourself out. It's just baby steps. 1 week do this, 1 week add something else, another week add something else. It's just taking baby steps. Don't indulge and get caught in the flame where you're trapped and you can't get out of it and now you're suffocating.
Right.
Don't stress. Obviously, stress is in our life, but don't stress your life too much.
Raw and real, baby.
Okay, talk. Stress your life out too much where it's just causing other parts of your life where it shouldn't be stressful. Like, gym shouldn't stress us out.
Right.
Unless you're like obsession and it's your job or whatever. But the gym shouldn't stress you out. Just take baby steps and build your way into it. That's all.
Should
I'm
be
saying.
fun.
Yeah.
It should be fun. That's a good one, man. That's a good way to end it. Like I said earlier, I want to answer some questions just because I think they're fun, very engaging, and questions could help people out for this episode. So let's see what we have. What are the plans for growth for the gym this year? This year, plans for the gym: spread more knowledge for the love of lifting. So we have some people in the books. I haven't talked to you much about it yet, but there's some people that I want to bring out here. Some pretty big name people in the powerlifting community that we're going to be bringing out here this year. Want to do some seminars with some of our members, some Olympic barbell movement seminars, some powerlifting seminars, some bodybuilding seminars, and really just taking that next step for the love of lifting, just taking it greater. And by 2024, 2025, we can get to a bigger building. That'll be great, man. But really, it's just enjoy the process.
Yeah, man. That's all you can do.
And just kind of go from there. How did you learn to transfer the work ethic in the gym to everyday life, school/work? That's a great question.
Yeah. See, I'm the type of person, you think, if you see a person working hard in the gym, they probably work hard outside the gym, the work, whatever, they're successful. To me, that carries over.
Right.
So, like, if you're working hard in the gym, I would hope you're applying the same effort to your life. If not, you're probably not going to be super successful in your life. Like, if you're not giving 100% whatever job you do, no matter what it is, you should be trying to give 100% effort into what you're doing at that moment. At that point, how are you going to get better? It's just literally just applying effort. You don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff in one day, but baby steps. Okay, if you're doing hard in the gym, you should go hard in your life. That's just how I see it.
Okay.
It's just adding a little bit of effort, building it up, taking your time, figuring out a way how you can be a better employee, better wife, better dad, whatever it is. Just try little stuff to make your life better.
So you're saying what you learn in the gym is what helps you succeed in your personal life. Yeah, and I agree with that, man. I'll answer that on my opinion. Same thing. I believe and I have to say this again, by no means do I think I'm this successful guy, because I'm not. But what I've learned with business, with friendships, with trying to be a good husband, which I'm new at, trying to be a good boyfriend, a good listener, all those things that I've learned has been through the gym. And it boils down to being consistent with certain things, setting up a plan. So like I'm on a program, right? 10-week program, sticking with it, and then doing it. So that would be, that would be my thing, man. It's like, if you're in school, because I see my sisters in school, if you're in school, you can't expect to read 10 chapters and remember these whole 10 chapters, right? So what do, man? Break it down. 2 to 3 chapters a night. Baby steps, man. So to boil it down is just baby steps, small steps. Eventually you'll learn how to run, and eventually, you'll be doing marathons, man. We'll do one more before we wrap it up. This is one you could answer as well, because I want to see the outside looking in. Someone asked, how did y'all create culture at the Brig? I wish we had that at my home gym. I'll answer that first, and then I want to see how the outside looking in, because I think that's very interesting. Creating culture, man, there's no secret to it, in my opinion. Like I said, we're going to have Danny on here because I'd love to hear her side of it too, because we both own the gym. So my opinion, creating culture is simple. It's about the people. It's about, again, who you hang out with, man. I believe Danny and I, we set a standard and then we set a blueprint, but we wouldn't be where we are at, respectfully, without the people. This is when you come in, you sign up, you do a day pass, you get the vibe for the culture, you get the vibe for who we are. And then, like, for instance, putting up your weights, not being an asshole to an extent, like, all those are set rules, right? But what ends up happening is, like, 6-7 months down the road with our newer members, they buy into the culture, and now they're doing things like, I don't have to police anyone. Everyone polices themselves. So culture, man, it can't be bought, in my opinion. It cannot be bought. It must be created with yourself, with the standard and the blueprint, and then just be real and true to who you are. And I feel like that's what, so far, how we're succeeding with the Brig, doing, podcasts, shooting videos, creating that culture is what I think people are starting to like, because it's different. And then it goes on to the people, man. And yeah, so to boil it down, man, it's the people. It's always going to be about the people here. We could have 5 Brigs all around the city, and it's still going to be about the people. So that's kind of really my answer, man. It's just, we created the blueprint, and then all you guys built off of it. And and we're thankful for everyone, man.
If you want culture at your gym, it just comes down to you and your friends. What are y'all doing? How do y'all act? How do you interact with other members and such? If you come here and you train here, you see how we interact with each other. Right. Most of us, we're not like good friends out there, but we're friends in here. Mm-hmm. Where we talk, we enjoy, we talk about training. We have good music here and stuff like that. We all have similar vibe here. So, like, culture does go to the extent what kind of gym you go to, but, like, you can't buy it. You can buy all the best equipment and everything.
I don't want to cut you short, but real quick before we end this video, I want to say a little story. I'm not going to name any names, and I'm not going to call out anyone. We visited a gym not that long ago. Like I said, I'm not going to name names. They would never know who we are anyway, because they're big. My point is this, why you can't buy culture. We visited a gym not that long ago. Man, I had high hopes.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the best equipment I've ever used. High hopes.
On social media, it looks awesome.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. Circle back to the people. No one liked us.
Oh, yeah, we got there. No one was inviting.
We came in there deep. About 7, 8 of us. I can't remember. We're deep. We were very smiling. We're happy to be there. And in this big gym, you're used to people coming in and showing up, because it's a big social media gym. But the culture and the vibe was weird.
Yeah, it was not inviting.
It was not inviting. And that was very disappointing, but that goes back to answering that question, man. You can't buy that. No. And I'm sure they have their culture amongst their people, but the thing is like, here,
when you walk in here, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah. And that's we have our gym rules, and that is our last gym rule, is be a good person. Like, no one likes assholes to an extent. There's time and place, but our last gym rule is be a good person. So it's just funny. I just thought about it. Culture can be bought. You could have the best gym equipment. You can have all the followers, but if you walk into a gym and your front desk person it's resting, bitch face, and your other members treat the day pass people bad or vice versa, that's not how Coach was created, in my opinion. So to kind of circle back on that and end it on that note, very thankful for all of our members. I say that all the time, but I truly mean it. By no means are we done. So if you're a member, if you're a new member to the Brig, I just want to say thank you. And I kind of wrap it with that, man. Shout out to the homie. I'm going to tag him shooting this video. I want to take this podcast further and further out. Want to have more people on it. We always do, good together. Shout out to the Brig. Episode 3 coming out soon. Hopefully platform ready.